All right, so we're going to work on a couple of examples where we'll be solving inequalities for either x or y. We're going to start with something where we're solving for x. We're going to have negative x over 2 minus 1 over 4 is greater than or equal to 3 over 4. So our first step would be to get rid of this 1 over 4, that's negative 1 over 4 here, because we want to isolate x. So the way that we remove something that has a negative sign, we would want to do an addition. So I'm going to do an addition of 1 over 4 on both sides of my inequality. And what I'll have left on the left is just my negative x over 2 greater than or equal to, and I'm going to have 3/4 plus 1/4, and that should give me 4/4. Now I don't want to leave it like that. I'm probably going to want to reduce it so that it's in its simplest form. So instead of writing 4 over 4, I'm going to change it to this, 1, because we know 4 over 4 is equal to 1. So now we want to get x on its own, or continue getting x on its own. So what we'll do is we want to get rid of this division by a 2. So what we want to do is an opposite operation, so we're going to multiply by 2 on both sides. If we want to get rid of that negative sign as well, we want to do both steps at once. What we would do is multiply by a negative 2. If we do that on both sides, our negative 2 on the denominator will cancel out with our negative 2 on the numerator, and we'll just be left with our x. Now, we have to remember our rule that if we are multiplying or dividing by a negative number, we have to remember that our sign is going to change direction. So whenever we do have x isolated, it's not going to be greater than or equal to, it's now going to be less than or equal to, and it's going to be negative 2. So x should be less than or equal to negative 2. For our second example, we're going to be rearranging an inequality so that we have y isolated. Our inequality for this one is 2x minus 3y over 5 is greater than or equal to 5x. Because I'm trying to solve for y, I want to remove everything away from it and do that by canceling out using our opposite operations. So the first thing I want to get rid of is that 2x. And there's not a plus sign in front of it, but that's an addition operation. So if I want to remove a positive 2x, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And that's going to leave me with a negative 3y over 5 is greater than or equal to 5x take away 2x is 3x. The next thing I'm going to get rid of is this denominator of 5. So if I have something that's being divided by 5, the opposite operation is to multiply. So because I want to do this on both sides, I'm going to multiply by 5 here and also over here. That's going to leave me with a negative 3y on the left. It's greater than or equal to. And whenever we're multiplying 3x by 5, our number is going to get multiplied, and it's just going to leave us with a 15x. We still have one more step to go before we're done isolating our y. We have to get rid of this multiplication by a negative 3. Same as our last example. If we have something that's being multiplied or divided by a negative, we're going to have to remember that we need to change our sign. So we'll do a division of negative 3 on both sides. It's going to leave our y on its own. And we're going to be very careful to flip our sign here. So now we have less than or equal to, and we'll have a negative 5x. So our solution is that y is less than or equal to a negative 5x.